So Thompson says that he did not profess to understand all the technical aspects of the game, but he loved it as few men could. So he thinks his description of England's gift to the world of sport also seems to portray its meaning to the watching public better than anything I know. So he says that there are several ways of looking at the game of cricket. So first, then probably the best. It is also a game that is played for enjoyment. So it is an art that is rich in the expression of subtle technical skills, where grace, strength also maybe magically also it can be magically done, blended as Bradman says in his book. So it is a long kind of picturesque romance here also, which is rich in comedy. It is also like the character in Don Quixote of Pickwick Papers. So it is also what we say, there's also a fascinating form of controversy here. So it is like a spectacle, then you could call it like a drama. So it was good fun. So it is undoubtedly what we would say like an art that can give pleasure as well. So it gives pleasure to those who practice it and also to those who watch it as well. Now, since joining the rank of watchers, he says that he has obtained a great deal of pleasure, albeit somewhat less exhilarating, also very intimate, he says, than in playing days. And he finds that it has a virtue of being less demanding on one's concentration and also responsibility. So from the test cricketer, he says, may I request tolerance for the space that is taken in describing simple things, like say such as an Yorker. So he may feel my descriptions are superfluous, but this book as such, it is designed to help also all classes of cricketers, including children. So then he says to the youngsters who may find the technical portions somewhat advanced, may I just say pass them by for the time being. Concentrate on the more elementary matters. Then come back to the test match stage, refinements when you are older. So he also wants to express his gratefulness to all those who assisted in this preparation. So particularly he says that he thanks Dr. Littleton for his contribution on the science of swing, then Arthur Mailey for his humorous sketches, then to Advertiser Newspapers Limited, News Limited of Adelaide, their staff also for their help in tracking down suitable illustrations. Then he also expresses his thankfulness to the willing assistants in their efforts to produce suitable movie film scripts. All of these have played a very valuable part. So what he says, John Bradman says, is the illustrations are not perfect, but nevertheless they have been carefully selected to portray what was required in action rather than photographic excellence. So all of this has dictated his choice. Then he ends this forward by saying that if this book can be the means of kindling enthusiasm in the breasts of some youngsters or of assisting older players to overcome the game's complexities, then he shall be rewarded for the time that is spent in compiling this. Now, it contains here for this are equipment, and you will find the equipment that is needed: bat, pads, you need batting gloves, protector, the thigh pads, the boots and the socks, then trousers and sweaters, cap, and then general. Then there's also tossing for innings. There's a chapter on that. The next chapter is about the actual art of batting. So general qualifications, the grip, the stance, taking guard or block, then the back lift, footwork, back defense, forward defense, back cut or late cut, and then down the gully, the square cut, the forward drives, jumping out to drive, the pull shot, the hook shot, forcing shot of back foot, then leg glances, back leg glance, forward leg glance, and then the sweep shot. The next one is also that the content is about the art of placing the ball when batting. The ways of getting out as well is another chapter. About the bowling part, the chapters here, in that chapter, the contents here are a bowling action, length, direction, bowling on a sticky wicket, and final words, yorker, long hop, full toss, half volley, good length, fast bowling, medium pace bowling, off spin bowling, leg spinner, top spinner, and googly, then left hand spin bowling, the cutter, change of pace, flight, then use of width of the bowling crease, then over around the wicket, no balls, swerve and swing, sieve and swing bowling, field placing. And then you have dealing with an off spinner, which is another chapter here. Then the rest of the chapters here are leg theory, then fielding, throwing in from the boundary, where to stand, returning the ball to the bowler, runouts, wicket keeping, practice for wicket keeping equipment, stumpings, where and how to stand, running between the wickets, captaincy, coaching, then the leg before wicket rule, selectorship, umpires, temperament, sportsmanship, relaxation at other sports, then the ideal 11, cricket problem, and then the historical. In the historical contents, you have the pitch, the wicket, the ball, balls to and over, the bat, and then the declarations. Finally, the whole thing ends with the virtues of cricket. So let's take a look at equipment, which is the first chapter here. So what we can see is that there's a lot of talk about what exactly we should have. What are the things that every budding cricketer should have in his kit as such. Just a glimpse at this. So, I'm a great believer, he says, in taking very special care to obtain the best equipment. So, this can play a very tremendous part in building up confidence, and also from personal experience, he knows how much easier it is to compile a score with the right equipment than with unsuitable components. So, this applies more forcibly to the highest grade of cricket, but it is applicable right through one's career. So a legend has been built up around certain players. You can say particularly Victor Trumper, who, so it is said, would take out any old bat and play equally well with it. So if that is true, I admire his skill all the more, because frankly I could not do so. So that was one excerpt from that.